Once you have G Suite Enterprise for Education, you can choose to export the reports to BigQuery on a daily basis. Simply go to Report, BigQuery Export, choose or create a new BigQuery project ID, and should you wish, restrict to a specific data region. You can also choose to export Gmail logs. You do this by heading to the Apps, G Suite, and Gmail section, click Setup, and enable email logs in BigQuery. Again, we'd recommend choosing the same BigQuery data project as your other ones. Once there, you can access this in the Google Cloud Console. You head to the BigQuery section and you'll see after 48 hours or so, your reports start coming through. This is a great place to become familiar with SQL commands and reports for BigQuery. There's a very easy to use table query explorer. You can run and see how big datasets would be and what they might contain. You can save your queries for future usage, which makes it easier to manipulate dates should you need to run a specific export. This example runs some drive events. And this example returns some classroom activity for a given date, which is really useful if you need to take classroom reporting. You can then also choose to explore this data either in Sheets through connected Sheets or in Google Data Studio. Let's have a look at one of those examples. You can directly connect from a Google Sheet using the data connector in the data toolbar, choose a project and a specific data set. Once connected, you can then query. In this case, you'll see that my activity report contains 13 million rows, and this enables you to very simply go through and perform Google Sheets queries in the same way you would on a normal Google Sheets dataset, but with up to 10 million rows of data. You can also set the refresh rate, so daily, weekly, monthly, based on your need. You could also choose to run custom queries as opposed to pulling in the whole dataset. So this example, for example, shows drive activity where external files are shared. The benefit of having all this imported onto a single sheet is you can then obviously perform simple charts like this one with much more data, much easier than you would with a standard Google Sheet. In Data Studio, it's really simple to connect a BigQuery report. If I'm creating a new report, I can choose a connector, choose BigQuery, choose the dataset and the table that I want to connect. And in just a few moments, I'll be able to perform queries, create tables and charts as I would in a normal Data Studio project, with all the data available to me through the admin activity and usage reports. I could obviously do something similar with Gmail log reports too. And you'll find some great Data Studio templates. Here's a quick example showing some key metrics around active users, files created, etc. And the ability of Data Studio is that you can very simply filter between dates. So a really useful dashboard to see what's happening within your G Suite tenancy. The key thing to remember here is that all of the reports contain all activity and usage on your domain, including unlicensed users. However, if you have Gmail log data, please note that this will only apply to those users who are licensed on a G Suite Enterprise for Education or a G Suite Enterprise for Education student license.